Jerry and Debbie starts now.
Well, hello there, and welcome to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. This is where we take a fresh look at ourselves and the world around us. And today we are talking about work today. Why are we talking about work today when so many folks are actually out of work today? Well, it's the feast day of Saint Joseph the Worker. And so it's very important that we do recognize this wonderful feast day and how it can relate to us right now and how we can lean on Saint Joseph. Very, very important today for you to enter into this discussion as we talk about work today. How important is your work? Let's talk about all angles of work. Maybe you are out of work right now. Maybe you are, deciding that you want to do a different line of work in the future. Maybe this pandemic allowed you time to really think and reflect about what it means for your work / ministry life, because so many of us like to incorporate our, a ministerial aspect to our daily work. So let's talk about it right now. And we want to hear from you. So we're focusing on all aspects of our jobs, our work, our vocations, everything that is, we feel passionate about. We want to cover it from all angles. And I'll read a little bit about the show synopsis that we put up on take2show.com. And you can, figure out if you want to call in and share your feelings about this, also about this wonderful feast day, St. Joseph the Worker, and how so many folks now are being consecrated to St. Joseph using Father Donald Calloway's newest book, The Consecration to St. Joseph. I'm doing it. My husband's doing it. My sister's doing it. Jerry's doing it. So many folks are jumping on and taking the book and using the book to be consecrated to St. Joseph, learning about St. Joseph, and then leaning on St. Joseph, asking St. Joseph to intercede on our behalf for our families and our work, and all things that matter to us here on earth. St. Joseph is there for us, our spiritual father, to help us. Beautiful, beautiful thing that we can talk about today. So here's the number, 833 288 3986, 833 288 3986. Jerry and I are also on the final day, the final hours of the spring appeal at the Station of the Cross, one of the wonderful affiliates, and they're having their spring appeal. And we are just coming over to do Take Two with Jerry and Debbie, and we're getting connected with Jerry right now. So that's why I'm doing the introduction of the. Oh, Jerry, you're here. Okay, I just was gonna. Yeah. I was just gonna keep talking until I heard your voice, or I thought I was in heaven.
Oh, I get a day off from the show?
No, I meant that
I don't want a day off from the show.
No, I meant I was praying that you were going to get connected, and then I was like, yay, it's heaven.
Yeah, I was just listening to you. You're doing a great job.
Oh, thank you. Well, St. Joseph the Worker, why don't you share about what you had posted on Take Two Show? Because we want our listeners to call in and share all angles of work and their vocation. Maybe they're changing work. Maybe they're looking for work. Maybe they're very, very down about losing work right now. We can talk about that and how St. Joseph can help us.
Yeah, absolutely. St. Joseph has his major feast day on March 19th. But on this day, May 1st, we have St. Joseph the Worker, because he worked with his hands as he raised and trained the baby Jesus and provided for the Holy Family. So all people really should have a devotion to St. Joseph under this title, St. Joseph the Worker. And on their website, the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops says that work is more than a way to make a living. It is a form of continuing participation in God's creation. So our question for you today: are you satisfied with your career, with your work? Do you like your job? Are you working in the field you were trained in? Are you retired maybe from a satisfying career and you want to share how work was important to you and how it provided for your ability to retire? Are you currently unemployed but looking to return. Maybe you're furloughed right now and really unsure of how that's all going to go, whether you'll even have a job to return to here in the coming weeks and months. Any of this is fair game, or whatever's on your mind about the importance of work and what it means to you and how you derive some of your dignity, because we all do, from human labor. 833-288 EWTN, 833-288-3986.
And I have a special message from Father Donald Calloway to our Inspired by Faith book club members that just started the 10 Wonders of the Rosary today. You are welcome to join our book club. All you have to do is go to standtalltoday.com under the book club tab. To click on that, it'll invite you to the Facebook book club, and Gigi will happily welcome you into the club, and you can start the 10 Wonders of the Rosary by Father Donald Calloway. But we were talking to Father Donald Calloway this morning, and he shared that he was going to remember all of the book clubs, all of the book club members, their intentions at Mass today during the hour of mercy. Isn't that beautiful, Jerry?
It is. Absolutely. What a great gift to all of us to have that Mass, for our intentions and our needs. Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful? So yeah, please join us at Inspired by Faith Book Club. It's on Facebook, 10 Wonders of the Rosary. That's what we started today. So important. Why did Gigi pick that book? She picked it because it's the month of Mary. May 1st begins the month of Mary. Okay, so we're talking about work today, St. Joseph the Worker, the feast day. We can talk about the Blessed Mother. Absolutely, it's the month of May. We talk about the Blessed Mother throughout the entire month of May, but we need to hear from you. So please dial in and just share what's on your mind or your heart, or what you're dreaming about for your future, of what you want to do by way of work or ministry. We want to hear from you. We really enjoy, and we are curious about your life, because we can learn from your life, plus we can journey together. The number to dial is 833-288-3986. Please call in. Phone lines tend to fill up quickly, so don't wait till the end of the show. If you have something to say, you feel that nudge in your spirit, now's the time to call in. 833-288-3986. And I know, Jerry, this feast day is very important to you because your middle name is Joseph.
Yeah, one of my middle names is St. Joseph. The other is Harrison. And after each of my grandfathers, thanks be to God. So, yeah, we're talking about work and human dignity as derived from our labor. Do you try to inspire your coworkers to be diligent? Maybe you have to hold down multiple jobs to make ends meet. How does work fit into your life? How do you relate to it in a sense? How do you approach your work and try to do it in a godly way? That's our topic today at 833-288-3986. Thanks for being with us.
The EWTN home video highlight for May is the story of Father John Sullivan. A Protestant born into a life of privilege, he left everything to follow God's call to become a Catholic priest and serve the poor and afflicted, and the faithful were blessed with countless miracles. Order your DVD at EWTNRC.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, or call 1-800-854-6316.
I'm Jerry Usher.
And I'm Debbie Georgiani. We want to tell you about the Inspired by Faith Book Club.
Join us as we gather together and read a featured inspirational book each month and engage in meaningful discussions together.
Want to participate? The details are simple and can be found at jerryanddebbie.com by clicking on the Book Club tab.
Invite your friends and let's spend some quality time in fellowship with the Inspired by Faith Book Club at jerryanddebbie.com.
Ever wonder about the power of prayer? St. John Chrysostom states that prayer and converse with God is a supreme good. It is a partnership and union with God. As the eyes of the body are enlightened when they see light, so our spirit, when it is intent on God through prayer, is illumined by His infinite light. Let God's infinite light be your guiding light. Ask Him to guide you daily in your prayer, work, recreation, home life with family, and your friendships.
Hi, this is your show, Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio. Michael Birchfield is on the controls today. Our producer, Jeff Burson, is watching what you're posting on YouTube and Facebook, the social media accounts of EWTN Radio. And Ryan Penny is the voice you get to hear and talk to when you call in at 833-288-3986, 833-288-3986, as we talk today about the great gift of being able to work. As I mentioned from the USCCB website, they talk about work is more than a way to make a living. It's a form of continuing participation in God's creation. Think about that for a minute and share with us what's on your mind about your job, your employment situation, if you're retired, how grateful are you for having been able to work, all these things. 833-288-3986. And Debbie, I know you've got in front of you well, here it is. Actually, I just got it from Michael. Thank you very much. I wanted to plug another program that I'm really especially fond of, and that's because for years, Debbie, we did share-a-thons for Redeemer Radio in Indiana and parts of Ohio, and they just have a great team there. And they created the show Doctor locally on their network, and it is so important and so vibrant and dynamic that EWTN has picked it up. So Saturday morning, 11 Eastern Time, public health specialist Dr. Paul Sislak, I hope I said the name right. He is medical director for the Oregon Public Health Division Communicable Disease and Immunization Program. We'll give an update on the coronavirus pandemic, including the latest information and predictions for the virus and what Catholics can expect when public sacraments are reopened. That is 11 a.m. Eastern Time right here on most of these same EWTN stations.
That's going to be an interesting show. So please, folks, check it out Saturday morning, 11 Eastern Time. And Jerry, the month of May starts today, May 1st, for Mary, the month of Mary. And we are talking about the consecration also to the Blessed Mother today that's going to happen at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And it will be broadcasted, and it's led by Archbishop Gomez. And I just wanted to say, Jerry, there's a lot of folks that are really looking forward to that the consecration to the Blessed Mother, and it's really the U.S. and Canada together, I guess, are doing it together. Make sure I have this correct, Jerry. And it is happening at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. It will be broadcasted. But I tell you what, Jerry, we've received a lot of messages from the Take Two family saying that they are really waiting. Each minute that goes by, they cannot wait for this to happen, and they think it's needed to get through this pandemic. Some people think it's long overdue, right? There's so many folks that are just very much wanting this to happen and as quick as possible. So I just wanted to state that as well. And so this is a great day, to talk about all of this: consecration to St. Joseph, consecration to the Blessed Mother, and it's a perfect time for us to deepen our understanding of all this, of what it means to be consecrated to St. Joseph and the Blessed Mother as a nation and as an individual, and also how it impacts our life, right, Jerry? Because, it sounds great to do all of these wonderful blessings and consecrations and rituals, but if it doesn't really sink in deeply into our own interior life, then it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it is. And by the way, you may have mentioned that this is a re-consecration. It's been done before, but
right.
The bishops of this country and the bishops of Canada feel like it's so important, and we could not agree more. I think the bishops of Mexico and many South American countries have already done this. So, please try to clear your schedule, folks, some way, somehow, at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, noon Pacific. EWTN is going to broadcast that, and it'll be carried by many of these same stations. And that's the reconsecration of our country and Canada to Mary and her patronage and intercession. And I know we've got some calls to get to in a minute, Debbie, but I just wanted to mention to people that you and I were on the one of the morning shifts at the Station of the Cross during their fund drive, and we had Father Donald Calloway on for just a few minutes because one of his book, Consecration to St. Joseph, is one of the gifts that was being given out for pledges. And I'll tell you what, I just really got this sense wash over me that personally too, Debbie, if we consecrate ourselves to Mary, which many of us have done, and now you're doing the consecration to St. Joseph, so am I think this is going to be revolutionary in our own spiritual lives and in the church, in our country and around the world. What do you think?
I completely agree, Jerry. And I had that same feeling when we were seeing all the pledges come in and folks wanted the book, The Consecration to St. Joseph. And you clarified that, Jerry, and I should have made that very clear that it's a reconsecration. But what I mean by that is, there's a lot of folks on Facebook, let's just face it, a lot of people are sharing their feelings, what's going on, all their fears, and a lot of people said we should have reconsecrated right away, real quickly. But you know what? If it takes a little time for all of us to get there, you know what? I think it's going to be beneficial spiritually for all of us. But I just pray that it enters into us individually, uniquely, and deeply in our homes, in our families, in our marriages, with our relationships. I think it could really, you talk about revolutionary. I think it could change the fabric of so many layers of our lives, and that's a beautiful thing. So enter into this conversation deeply, folks, and hear what the callers have to say. We're going to go to Jane first in Southern Illinois, listening on EWTN.com. Jane is a first-time caller, and Jane, welcome to Take Two.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jane.
You're welcome.
Okay, so month or so, about a month and a half ago, a friend of mine gave me a book that is Father Calloway's book, Consecration to St. Joseph. And my husband and I gave it to my husband, and I downloaded it through Kindle. We began the 33-day consecration to St. Joseph. My husband has been looking to retire, and, we've been going back and forth, and we've been praying about it. Well, we started the consecration to St. Joseph. We actually started on March 29th, I believe is the day, or yes, March 29th, yes. Okay. So anyhow, we didn't know when or if he was going to retire. Well, as it turned out, it all worked out at his work. He's been in a very dangerous job for many years, over 36 years. And on and off, besides those years, he has worked in other jobs, but just he's a coal miner. He loves coal mining. So we began the consecration to St. Joseph. Every night we pray, and we always pray the rosary. That was in my family. Always we prayed the rosary every single night. There were times when he was out of work, when we were married, that our kids, all of us we just prayed so hard, and we prayed to St. Joseph. So as it turned out, we didn't know when his last day of work would be. As it turned out, today is his first day of retirement, and today is Consecration Day. So I just feel like there are no coincidences, and St. Joseph has taken care of us. And it's a great book. I have Father Calloway's book also, Under the Mantle, which I'm almost finished with. But I just want to say thank you to the Lord, and thank you to my friend who gave us the book, and Father Calloway. Just want to say thank you. And thank you, Jerry and Debbie.
Well, thank you. You're very, very kind. I'll just offer a couple thoughts here, Deb, and you
Yes.
can go. But Jane, it's funny you said there are no coincidences. I was going to first thing I was going to say, very tongue-in-cheek, was, wow, what a coincidence. But we know that that's not the case. This is the God that we are made by and created for in love. And he has what the Bible says, he's counted the number of hairs on your head. So if he's concerned, down to that little detail, how much more is he going to be concerned about big and important things like this? So thank you for sharing that. This is so inspiring. And praise be to God, your husband, you said he was 36 years as a coal miner. I can only imagine, every day that he went to work, there was that little, thought in the back of his head, bad things can happen on a job like this. And I'm sure as a wife, as you kissed him goodbye, that little thought was probably at least to some degree in your mind every day. So Debbie, I'm so glad to hear that, things did work out the way they have, and he is now starting retirement today. That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
And I do have to say, there were many near misses where he had just walked out of a place where the top had fallen. So, God took care of us all these years. But my mother and father, they were very, they prayed that rosary. Dad said it was the ladder to heaven. And Mom prayed, and we all prayed. We have a big family. We all prayed every single night. We prayed that rosary, no matter what. And I think it was just all the prayers that kept him safe. And God is so good. Blessed Mother St. Joseph, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Amen to that. Amen. Jane, I as you were talking about, like when you said the near misses, and you said your dad said like the rosary is the ladder to heaven. I love that. But Jane, you were talking about the near misses. Your husband's guardian angel obviously was very active, protecting him and caring for him. And congratulations on the beginning of what God has in store for you now on this next leg of the journey for the two of you together. You did the book, you were consecrated to Saint Joseph. You're under his protection and his care. And it's just beautiful. I cannot wait to see what unfolds for you and your husband and for your lives and for your family and for by extension, your friends and everybody around you, because it radiates out from there. So if you're a first time caller today, Jane, but maybe in like a month or 2 months or down the road, check back with us and just let us know what things are unfolding in your life, because it gives us all a tremendous amount of encouragement and confidence in what our Lord has the plans he has for us. Okay, Jane?
Thank you so much. And I just felt like I owed that to St. Joseph and Father Calloway and the Lord to call. So thank you very much.
Thank you,
Well,
Jane.
thank you. Yeah, we're so
and thank
glad
you for the kind words about the show. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Wow, Jerry.
Yeah.
Great call by Jane.
Yeah, our topic today is how important is work to you? Are you in a satisfying career? Maybe you are retired like Jane's husband, beginning today on the Feast of St. Joseph the Worker. Yeah, maybe you find your job to be more of a burden than a blessing. That's unfortunate if you do, but that's the case for, I think, a lot of us. Maybe you're holding down multiple jobs, to make ends meet for your family. We have a line open that Jane was on there at 833-288-3986.
Okay. So next up is Michael. Michael is in Texas on Sirius XM 130. Hi, Michael. Welcome to Take Two.
Hi. Good morning, Debbie. How are you?
Doing well. Thank you so much for calling in. We'd love to hear what you're thinking about this topic today.
Yes, I had a fantastic job of being a light rail train operator in the county of Santa Clara, California, and I ended up having an allergic reaction to an antibiotic that gave me neuropathy. And at the same time, I was having many episodes of pneumonia. And between the two, I ended up forced out because you're only limited so many absences at work. And it just hurts every time I see a passenger train or a light rail train. It brings me back to the memories I had of enjoyment. I really, especially at the end of the line, when I had some spare time and there were kids aboard, I'd let them into the cab and blow the horn and ring the bell, and their eyes would just light up, at doing that. Also, the younger kids, I would open up the seats to the sandbox, which is old technology from the very beginning of trains, and let them feel the sand, and they just whether it was in the cab or the sandbox, they just really, really enjoyed it, and brought pleasure to me because I don't have any kids myself, and so in a way they were temporary kids for me. So
right. That is beautiful. Michael, do me a favor if you can. You're going to hear the music in just a little bit. And if you could hang on with us, I know Jerry wants to make some comments about that. I want to just state that, when little kids, they just love experiencing things for the first time. They love imagining what their life is going to turn out to be. You talk to a little boy, and like I raised two boys, and you'll say, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" "Oh, I want to be a police officer. I want to be a fireman. I want to be a pilot." And so what you did for those children, that is just so Christ-like, and it's so beautiful that you let them experience your job, Michael. Hang on with us. This is Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. When we come back, more comments about Michael's story and the others as well.
EWTN Radio brings you the Holy Rosary twice each day for over 25 years. Tune in every morning for Mother Angelica and every evening for Father Benedict Groeschel, only on EWTN Radio.
The Reason for Our Hope with Father Larry Richards.
Once someone's died, you remember explicitly what that person said to you. Now, so we go back and we start off with King David. Now, King David is a good man to begin with, because King David, the word David means beloved of God. God says of David, he is a man after my own heart. But you all know David, right? He was a murderer. And yet God said he was a man after his own heart, because David kept getting up and trying, repenting. We have the beautiful Psalms. God have mercy on me, coming from David, So he knew what it was to be a man. And so here's King David, and he takes his son Solomon. The last words of wisdom he gives him. 1 Kings chapter 2, verse 2. He says, I am going the way of all mankind. So, take courage and be a man.
The wisdom of Mother Angelica.
A very wonderful woman I knew had 4 children, and all 4 died. And somebody went up to her one day and they said, oh, what a pity. And she said, oh no. What a blessing. If we don't begin to look at everything with the eyes of Jesus, you will become helpless and hopeless.
For more information on Mother Angelica, visit Religious Catalog at EWTNRC.com.
Monday on More to Life. You got this.
Worried about the week ahead? We're going to help you regain your confidence.
Now, back to Take Two with Jerry and Debbie.
As we always say, this is your show, Take Two with Jerry and Debbie on EWTN Radio. Thank you, affiliates, for carrying the program. We are so very, very grateful for that. And we're talking with Michael in Texas today, talking about work on this Feast of St. Joseph the Worker. And Michael was sharing that he had a great job as a light rail train operator, had some allergic reactions, neuropathy issues, a little bit of pneumonia, forced him to miss some days of work, maybe a few too many, I guess, so it forced him out of that job. But you were able to give, as Debbie said, that beautiful experience to your, I like the way you put it, Michael, your temporary kids. Like me, you have not been the biological father of children. So that beautiful gift that you were able to give to them, I love the way Debbie put that. And I want to just point out something that people may not have heard. Michael, you may not have heard it this morning, but on Catholic Connection with Teresa Tomeo, she had a very uplifting and I think hope-filled message for people who are furloughed right now, people who are out of work because of the pandemic and so forth. Yours isn't really related to that, but it still could be kind of an analogy here. And she was just saying, God has something better prepared. She wanted us to remember that sometimes we look at a situation, and I'm sure you did this, Michael. You probably looked at this and says, oh, my goodness, I've worked all these years on this. It's what I love to do. It's so rewarding for me. And then all of a sudden, you had that pulled out from underneath you. But God has had that experience with the kids, and hopefully, I would guess, many more great experiences for you going forward. What do you think?
I totally agree. And it wasn't just kids that I got compliments from. It was many adults, too, that thanked me for the good job that I did.
Great.
Whether it be on the platform or whether it be operating the train itself. And so it was just a real pleasure for me. And I know that this is just practice, our life here. And our aim is to be with our Lord when we pass on. And so I have that in the back of my mind. At the same time, though, it's just hard, even after all these years of being on disability, to let go of it, and because it was such a big part of me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. Work and what we do and the impact we leave and the job well done that we do, it's hard to walk away. But if you know that you're walking away and God is going to continue to use you in various ways when you least expect it, if you have that anticipation and that excitement to know that God is not finished with you yet, Michael, I believe that there's going to be more opportunities for you to show yourself in a wonderful Christ-like way to others and to do good work, whether it's volunteer work or just even in friendships or relationships or something that's happening around your circle of influence and your circle that you run in. And I'll tell you what, Michael, I can relate because there have been many jobs that I have left. I just thank God so from the bottom of my heart that I chose to walk away from it. But when I walked away, I was always thinking, okay, Lord, what is the next step? And I always knew that step would be a learning experience for myself and also an ability and an opportunity for me to have God use me in whatever capacity he felt was necessary for me and for others. And I pray that for you, Michael, because you can tell that your heart is in the right place. Like you said, this is a training ground. We couldn't agree more with that statement. Mother Angelica used to talk about that all the time. And so I say the same thing that I said to our first caller, Jane. I can't wait to see what God has in store for you, Michael. What do you think?
I thank you for that. And the one thing that bothers me about this virus is that the kids can't see your smile when you're looking at them and saying, "Hi, princess," or, "Hi, prince." And the smile is such a big part of giving of yourself. And so anyways, I thank you for your warm comments from both of you.
Oh, bless your heart, Michael. But can I just add something to that real quickly, Jerry, if I may?
Sure.
Michael, and I think you're referring to the fact that, and now we're going to have this barrier with masks or bandanas or something of that nature. Maybe this is a great opportunity maybe this is a great opportunity for all of us to start reconnecting with the eyes. Okay. And the eyes are the mirrors to the soul. And I'll tell you what, we've lost the art of connecting eye to eye with others. Why? Because we have technology and our cell phones and everything right in front of us that vies for our attention. And maybe this is going to be a great opportunity for all of us to start connecting soul to soul through the loving smile of our eyes. What do you think, Michael? Before we let you go.
I really think that's very true, and I've noticed that with the mask on, that I'm trying to give what I gave in my smile through my eyes and through the look of joy. If I can give that through my eyes, I try to. And
Amen.
So, anyways, I'm going to let you go, and I thank you so much for letting me share.
You're welcome, Michael. Thanks for being part of Take Two with Jerry and Debbie. We appreciate that. A quick clarification on something, Debbie, in just a second, but I just wanted to close my thoughts on Michael's call. He mentioned this pain that he has, of not being able to do what he once did and so forth. And Anybody, we as I mentioned at the start of the show, the church sees work as more than just an exchange of my services for your money. I mean, the work sees that as a form, as I said, of continuing participation in God's creation. We're contributing something to the entire world when we work. We should do it diligently with all of our heart and all of our soul and all of our effort. So when somebody like Michael or anyone says, I'm pained over losing my job or missing my job or something, that's not just because they need to pay their bills, which they do, but it's wired within us. God has wired it into us to gain part of our dignity through human labor. So
that's very true.
I thought that was a beautiful call. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Michael. And thank you, Jane, for the first call, starting off our beautiful conversation. I just received a message, they said, amen to the smile with your eyes. Yeah, let's start doing that. Let's reconnect soul to soul through the use of our beautiful, eyes as a way of smiling. If we're going to have the barrier with the masks, then maybe it's time we reconnect eye to eye. Right, Jerry?
Indeed. And Debbie was reminding me during the last short break there that today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on EWTN and most of these same affiliates, it's not a reconsecration of our country and Canada by our respective bishops to Mary, but it is a renewal of that consecration, because once it's done, it cannot be redone. And I think, Debbie, you made the analogy between marriage. When you renew your marriage vows, you're not getting married again. So I thought that we should make that clarification. It's a renewal of our nation's consecration.
Right. Yeah. We just said it quickly because we were trying to get the show topic so that you could start calling in. So yes, that is true. Renewal of consecration to under the protection of the Blessed Mother. So, and that's going to be at 3 p.m. today at the start, May 1st. And like I said before, I love the way our bishops are doing everything. And a lot of us on social media, we're just saying, we need to do more of this very quickly. And the renewals and getting back to the rosary and having, adoration, even virtually, everything we can do together to continue to connect us and to build our confidence, that we have the communion of saints, and our Lord is watching everything and taking care of everything as part of his plan. And also our guardian angels are with us. I think that is necessary, Jerry, because we're seeing a lot of confusion on social media because people don't know what's happening. They're kind of spinning, and that's not a good thing. So this renewal of consecration is really going to have us all focus together. Yeah. Perfect timing on May 1st. Okay. Lisa in Iowa is on Facebook. Hi, Lisa. I'm waving to you. Jerry's not on Skype today, but I'm waving to you, Lisa. First-time caller. Welcome.
Hi. Thank you for my call.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Lisa.
Go right ahead. Yep.
My story starts with, in March, my mother, who had dementia and was in a nursing home, at 86, she passed away on the 13th of March. I've been over there. I've been taking care of her. I've been going over there almost every day for years now. And I was over there, and right before the lockdown, she passed away. I mean, it would have been 2 days after she passed away that they weren't going to let people even on hospice have visitors. So I was glad I could be there for that part of her journey. And then 3 weeks later, my brother died in the D.C. area. And so he was 55 and had a heart attack. 90% of one of his arteries was blocked. And so they figure he just went to sleep, took a nap at the park that he loved, and passed away. And on Sunday, that was a Saturday, on Sunday I was praying all day, and I had just a feeling that I had to pray. In the morning I went to Mass online because of the virus. I did a Joseph Litany, I did novenas, I did a rosary, and at 3:30 I got the call that my brother had passed away. And it was really hard. So then I took a month off of work because I've been feeling that my job, I used to love my job, and I'm an essential worker, so I'm still working, but I've just been feeling that it's not for me anymore. My heart isn't in it. I need to move on. I'm in September. I turned 30. I wish 30. I turned 60, and I'm going to try to retire. And I just feel like God's telling me that I need to pray and go to Mass and renew my faith more to help other people around me. I've had a lot of people around me with cancer, and I've been praying. And I make at a prayer shawl ministry, and we crochet prayer shawls. And just yesterday, I gave one to my neighbor, and he was going to commit suicide, and he didn't. And then I gave him the prayer shawl. So I just feel like God is trying to take me on a spiritual journey that I've had. This is the deepest one I've ever had. Years ago, I had a calling to go to a marriage encounter weekend, worldwide marriage encounter weekend, and I kind of made my husband go with me, and that didn't sit very well, but we went and we became a teen couple, and we presented marriage encounter weekends for years, I think about 6 years, and we did one a month, and that's very rare to do that many, but it was nice because we were touching people's lives and touching people's marriages. So now it's just like I don't know where I'm going, but I'm hoping to retire and then follow God to whatever He wants me to do next.
Right. Okay, so Lisa, first, I just want to say our hearts just broke when you shared about your mom from dementia and passed away, and then your brother died as well at 55. We keep a book of all the living and also the deceased of the Take Two family. If you feel comfortable, can you give me their first names? I put you already in the book, and I put your whole family, but a lot of our listeners like to pray by first name.
Oh, okay, yeah. My mom's name, Miriam.
Miriam, okay. And your brother?
And then Paul.
Yeah, I just, real quickly, if I may, Jerry, I just want to say, Lisa, I think so many of us, whether we recognize it or not, we're feeling that God is allowing us to be changed through all this. And to grow through all this and to be stretched. And, it's a little, it can be a little, unnerving and a little uneasy and, a little feeling of like, wow, what does this mean? I'm kind of walking into like a dark room and kind of groping, where's the light? But here's the beauty of it. Right, Lisa? Yeah. Here's the beauty of it though. Yeah. If we can just practice, the simple but very powerful phrase that Saint Faustina imparted to us, Jesus, I trust in you. If we can practice that, and then it starts entering deeply inside of us, and then we start believing it, and then we start living it, God has great things in store for each and every one of us. Sometimes I think we sell ourselves short and we don't realize that. And what I mean by great things, what I mean by, now you may think, well, a great thing would be like if I'm on television or on radio. No, I'm talking about God is going to use us with all of our gifts and talents and to the best of our ability and our willingness to enter into that, to cooperate with that. And then God will use us, and we will not only, if we say yes and do it well with good intentions, not only will we be blessed, but we will benefit. We will benefit from it, and we will feel that joy. And I just want to say that because I was listening to Teresa Tomeo this morning, and she nailed it on Catholic Connection this morning. She was so good. She shared about her own life, and then she shared about God has great things in store for each and every one of us. It's true. These aren't just words, just fluff words to send out there to make people feel good. This is really a true statement. I just wanted to say that to you, Lisa, and I can't wait to see what God has unfolding for you in the next leg of your journey. What do you think about what I just shared, Jerry, and what Lisa's life story?
Well, I'm especially blessed. This is going to sound rather simple, and it probably seems simple to you, Lisa. The prayer shawl ministry that you have. Debbie and I do on-air pledge drives for many, many Catholic radio stations. And over the years, there's been one that there's a prayer shawl ministry in their area. They usually knit 3 of them and then give them to the station. And for a certain amount of pledge, people can get those. And these things just fly out the door. It's amazing because they say, you know, as and I'm sure you do this, as you're knitting them, you're praying for the person who's going to have them. And again, it may sound like something inconsequential, but it's really not. And look what it did for your neighbor who was going to take his own life. And you gave him that prayer shawl and he decided against that. I mean, it's not a sacramental or anything, but God's grace sure was powerfully present in that exchange that you had with him. I'm so happy to hear about that, Lisa. Thanks for sharing that. Anything else?
Sure. Other than I really enjoy listening to your show, and yeah, I'm just going to keep praying that I do what God wants me to do in this life and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Amen to that, Lisa. Keep us posted,
You're still very young,
Lisa. Yeah.
You're still very young.
Yes, I hope to do more things for him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you will.
Well,
you will. And I loved how you slipped and said, well, I'm 30. Oh, no, I'm 60. Because God probably sees the 30-year-old in you, Lisa. So you got a lot more going on, and God's going to use you abundantly. Trust us. He will. Keep us posted, though. We love to journey with you, Lisa. Thank you so much. Thank you for gracing our conversation today. Okay. Karen, thank you. Karen is up next in Sterling. Oh, did you want to share something, Jerry? I'm sorry. Did you want to share
We
about
got an email from Karen in Lancaster, New York.
Yes.
Probably not the same Karen, but I just wanted to mention this. Hi, Jerry and Debbie. I love your show. Thank you, Karen. I have worked as a legal assistant in the same office for about 22 years now, and I need, all capitals, to get out of here. It has been in my heart for a long time to find something where I help people, and it's been getting stronger. I've decided that now is the time for me to really do some research and find another career where I can help people, like in the medical field. I have been praying for guidance as I have not looked for a job in a long time, and I'm not sure exactly what my duty is to fulfill God's will for me. Thanks, and God bless you both. So, Karen, I know Debbie will echo this. We can be assured of our prayers. If you have that willing heart and that willing spirit to do something beautiful for God's people, Debbie, just like with Lisa and everybody else, all God is looking for is our yes. After the example of our Blessed Mother.
Right. And just like we were talking about this renewal of consecration, so many folks say, well, how many times do I have to pray? How many times do I have to do a consecration or a renewal of consecration? Or how many times do I have to pray the novenas to the Blessed Mother or Lady Undoer of Knots or keep praying. Keep praying. It's not just you do 9 days of it and then say, okay, I did that part. Now I'm going to do, something else. And, keep praying, keep renewing that, keep affirming that. And you'll see that the more you do that, it builds your confidence. It keeps your hopes up, and it also allows God that precious time to do what he needs to do, to place everything in place so that everything comes into view. Right, Jerry? We hear that all the time. You and I, we get the emails all the time about that. Like, how many times should I pray? Right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's
awesome. In fact, we got to get to Karen on the phone here, but I'm reminded of Padre Pio once said, you don't be afraid of being, what did he say, a devoutly pestering God or something like that. So, if you think you're being a pest, think about those passages in the Bible of, going to your neighbor for a loaf of bread late at night or the lady with the unjust judge or whatever. But we do have to get to Karen, who is with us on the telephone here on Take Two with Jerry and Debbie in Sterling, Colorado, listening on the Catholic Radio Network. Another first-time caller. Hi, Karen. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Karen.
Hello. Thank you.
Huh?
So I am a massage therapist, and I'm self-employed. I have my own business, and obviously I haven't been working during the lockdown today is the first day that the state of Colorado has said that I could possibly go back to work. I'm not yet, because in my prayer time, the Lord keeps saying, wait. And it's hard because my clients have been calling me for 3 weeks saying, when are you getting back? Because the massage therapy for me is not just about the touch. It's about being present to them. So it's a lot of listening as well. And I am so blessed by the work that I do, and I bring the Lord and our Blessed Mother in it. And so it's very difficult for me right now having to hold back because of the virus.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So you're praying to figure things out. Are you? Yeah. I just want to make sure I'm clear on that real quickly.
Yes, I will be returning, but it's a matter of when. I mean, the state has said I can. My clients want me to, but the Lord keeps just saying, wait. And I don't know what that waiting's for. I don't know if part of it is, I'm not sure. And part of it is certainly because of the protocols and parameters now I have to do. It just makes I have to wear a mask. My clients have to wear a mask, which really isn't comfortable, certainly for them, because it's very confining.
Right.
And praying and saying, okay, Lord, do I just do it anyway? Because it's such a blessing for me and them. Do I go ahead? Do I wait? And he just keeps saying, just wait. And another aspect in there, the place that I work at, that I rent space from, the owner, her husband has cancer, so he's very fearful about bringing in that business that's connected to their house. So there's a lot in it, but ultimately it's the praying and waiting and saying, okay, Lord, I will be obedient. I'm not sure how this is looking, and the waiting's hard.
Yeah. Well, just so you know, Karen and Jerry and I talk about this all the time. The waiting is what absolutely it feels like it's killing us. The waiting, and that happens a lot when you're praying about something, and that waiting portion where God's saying no, not yet, or it's not the time's not right, or pull back a little, or stay still for a little bit. That waiting to us as human beings, and we're trying, like you said, trying to do God's will, trying to be obedient, trying to listen. That waiting feels like it's killing us. We're like, okay, well, just give us a path. We'll move ahead, whatever that is. But in that waiting, I think many graces flow because of your willingness to be obedient to it. I also think that that's perfect timing for God, and everything. I believe everything has to line up in just the right way. So I say, if you're feeling that way, Karen, hang on to that waiting portion because there's something being planned out. What do you think, Jerry?
Absolutely. If God is saying wait, there's a reason for that. And I'm just getting a sense, Karen, and we don't have time to explore it because we're going to hear the closing music here. But I think, maybe God has something for you that includes the massage therapy, but maybe even, even beyond that to assist in people's quality of life. And I don't know, I thought of it being a nurse or something came into my head, but email us, Karen, at take2@ewtn.com.
Interesting.
Yeah, you sound like just a caring, wonderful person. Thank you. And Gretchen and Diane and Tony, thank you for your YouTube comments. And wow, Debbie, this conversation, as always, turned out to be just fantastic, driven by the Take Two family.
Amazing. And thank you for participating on this beautiful first day of May, the month of Mary. Don't forget to listen to the renewal of the Consecration to the Care of the Blessed Mother today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Tomorrow we're going to be talking about what are you possessive of?
Monday.
Oh, that's going to be I'm sorry. Monday. Until then, have a beautiful and blessed weekend. See you real soon.
Dr. Ray Guarendi avoiding all known forms of psychobabble. The doctor is in next on the EWTN Global Catholic Radio Network.
Here's today's quote from Mother Angelica's perpetual calendar. You've got to pray to Our Lady. When you lose devotion to Our Lady, you're out there with the wolves. Mother's spiral-bound perpetual calendar features an inspirational message for each day of the year.